Good morning, guys. We are Jamie and Sarah. We are out this morning without our girls, kind of getting some coffee, having a little morning coffee date.
So when we were first getting started in real estate investing, we didn't really have the right education or people in our lives to guide us in making those decisions and finding those deals. So because of that, we missed out on a lot of opportunities. So today we're going to drive around and show you guys some of them and share the lessons we learned. You ready to get going?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So this is where it all started for us, this cute little house on Dwight.
There she is.
Look how cute it is.
It's a lot cuter than when we first bought it.
We were able to live really cheaply here, and we started learning about real estate investing. And we really wanted to get into it, but we really didn't know what we were doing.
Because of that, we missed out on this first house we're going to drive by. It's 3 doors down from our first house, and it came up for sale for $25,000. So we're going to show it to you guys and talk about what it's worth now. There it is. Missed out on that bad boy.
So we're going to look up the value of this house on Zillow, which isn't always a perfect estimation, but it's a pretty good indicator of where you're at. It was listed for $25,000, so we put an offer in for $23,000, which was pretty much every dollar in our bank account. I don't even know how we would have gotten by, but we were just hoping that they would accept it and we'd figure it out after that. But they didn't, because someone had offered $25,000 for it, which those people I'm sure are pretty happy now that it's worth $216,000.
So as Sarah was saying, when we were first starting out, we didn't realize that you didn't have to have all the cash ready to go in order to buy a house. We didn't realize how to use equity or even what equity was. And that house, the first house that we just drove by, that was our first home, we didn't realize that we were sitting on about 80 grand in equity that we could have bought this house with. We thought that we couldn't afford it. Because of that, we missed out on a huge investment opportunity that kind of kicking ourselves for.
But you learn. I mean,
learn.
Yeah. Yep. That's what education is so valuable. You
Yep.
learn.
Yep. Should we go drive by a couple more?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Okay, should we go to Henry next?
Oh, that one breaks my heart.
This next one is by far the biggest opportunity we missed out on, so we're gonna go drive by it and cry a little bit.
Let's go. Do you know which one it was?
I don't know, they painted it, so I'm not, I think I recognize it, but yeah. Oh, I think it's
this
yeah.
one.
Yep,
Oh,
there
it's
it
so
is.
cute.
There she is.
Oh, look how cute it is. This one was for sale for $18,000. Oh, it's a 2-unit, but it had a bad roof. And to us, that was like, oh, that's too big of a hassle. We can't handle, we're gonna have to find a contractor. It's probably gonna be like 20 grand. Like, who has the time? But this house, let's look it up. How much do you think it's worth? Are you recording?
Yeah.
Sad.
What is it?
$323. That's $300,000 more than we could have bought it for those of you who didn't do that math. $300,000. And this was what, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Because our realtor was like, you guys, it has a bad roof. You don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. There was some water damage though, right?
I mean, they probably had to put 50 grand into it.
Yeah.
100 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, this one breaks my heart because it's so cute. And it's a duplex, so like, not to mention the rental income every month we could be getting from it, you know?
So we'd be $300,000 richer if we would have bought this house.
You live and learn, you know? At the time, we really didn't understand the concept of buying kind of a dumpy property to gain equity. And that's something that we really always advise people on now, is to buy houses that need a little bit of work. You know, the houses that maybe nobody else wants or nobody else can see the value in. That's where you gain equity and really can just gain wealth over time.
You smart. She's smart.
Look how pretty it is.
That's a good looking house right there.
Wow. So this one we looked at before Jamie and I were married, actually. I think it was 60,000, right? It was 6 bedrooms. It's a huge house. It needed some work, but they did a really nice job. So this one is worth $354,000. So again, for those of you who didn't do that quick math, that's $300,000 more than what they were asking for when we looked at it, which was, you know, this one was probably 8 years ago now, but still. But it's
fixer-uppers, man. I'll get you.
It's where it's at. So we're heading over to a 4-unit that we looked at on Eastern, which was right near our first house. It was listed for $140,000, which was one of the most expensive houses we had ever looked at. And we decided to not put an offer in because that seemed pretty expensive. We thought that there was a lot of talk about the market crashing soon and things could get cheaper again because they were starting to rise so much. So we decided to wait for a market crash, and here we are 7 years later and the market never crashed. So I think that that's definitely advice that we have for you guys, is just to get started now, because if you wait for maybes or you know, waiting to win the lottery, basically, definitely just get started now. When we started in 2014, we wished that we had started in 2008 when everything was so cheap, but now people are saying like, oh, I wish I would have started in 2014. So just start now, because in 5 years you might have wished that you started in 2020.
So that one actually sold in August for $322,000. So not only was it a 4-unit for $140,000, now it's worth $322,000. Amazing numbers. We wish we'd have bought it. All these real estate regrets are kind of getting me down, so we're gonna go check out a good real estate decision that we made. There it is. Our old hood.
So this is the first time we ever house hacked, which house hacking is when you buy a duplex and you live in part of it and the other half pays your mortgage. So that really kind of jump-started our real estate career and really helped get us ahead and start buying rentals like crazy, because we were saving so much money not paying a mortgage. So here is our Woodmere house that we eventually did sell.
This looks a lot different, actually.
A lot different.
So the cool thing about this house was that it was actually listed for $150,000 as a duplex, but nobody wanted it because it had a bad foundation. So it was listed for a couple months, and even we kind of passed it by because we were like, oh, we don't want to deal with that. That sounds like a very expensive project. But our new realtor that we got, who was an investor, and he kind of convinced us to be like, look, this house is going to be worth a lot more in a few years, and all you have to do is put in the 20 grand to fix the foundation, and then all of a sudden you might have a $275,000 house. So we kind of took a risk there, and we put in an offer for $125,000, and it was accepted. We put in our offer without inspections. And so the people buying it were super happy because they knew that it had a bad foundation, and so did we, but they didn't want to go through inspections because they knew that that might mean losing our offer. So they accepted it. They were super happy. We got the house for $125,000. And we started living in half of it and renting out the other half. We lived here for about 2 years. We saved like $25,000 in that time just by not having to pay a mortgage. We had our first daughter here. It was a really special house to us. But this area over that 2 years continued to grow and grow and grow. And so we ended up selling this house for, was it $272,000?
Yeah, $272,000.
So we bought it for $125,000, sold it for $272,000 2 years later. We did have to fix the foundation, which I think cost $14,000. And then we put about $20,000 into it in other areas as well, just fixing it up. We redid the kitchen and bathrooms and stuff like that. But really, because we bought a house that nobody else wanted, we were able to gain so much equity and get that equity out of it when we sold it 2 years later. So this was a good decision that we made, and we started to realize how just starting now and buying these houses now, gaining that equity was just a really good thing.
So by the time we bought this house, we had a little bit more education. We had a new mentor and realtor who was on our side and educating us about real estate investing. So we knew that this was a good buy because we had that education. So the difference between this opportunity and the other ones was just simply meeting the right people and having the right education on how to invest and how to grow wealth. So if you are in the beginning stages of investing, I would just encourage you to continue to educate yourself and try to make connections with people who are in the industry and know about real estate investing. Even though it may seem like you're not making progress towards your goals, by even just educating yourself, you're really getting a huge advantage and you are moving forward. So I think the common theme through all these houses we looked at today is just that they were all fixer-uppers. They all were in need of either extensive or just basic repairs and updating. Those houses are the ones you want to try to find, because while cash flow is great with rental properties, where we really were able to make a lot of money, and a lot more money was through appreciation. So by buying those undervalued properties that no one else wanted, we really were able to jumpstart into real estate and build a portfolio quite quickly.
So don't be afraid to buy the crappiest house you can find. So we love talking real estate and investing, money, all those kinds of things. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to like this video and subscribe.
See you next time.
Bye.